In the heart of Houston, Texas, where highways stretch like endless rivers of steel and glass towers, reflect the ambition of millions, there lived a close-knit Nigerian community. They called themselves Home Away from Home, gathering every Sunday after service, speaking Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and Pidgin, as if distance from Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt had never existed. Among them was a young woman named Nkechi Okafor. She was the kind of person people noticed immediately, not just for beauty, but for presence. She was sharp-tongued, confident, and carried herself like someone who believed life owed her precision and respect on demand. She worked in a corporate office downtown and prided herself on her standards. Nkechi had a habit that quietly shaped her life. She judged people fast. Clothes, accent, shoes, posture, everything was data to her. And from that data, she built conclusions she rarely questioned. One Saturday afternoon, she stopped at a gas station near Beltway 8. The heat was heavy, pressing against the asphalt. As she stepped out of her car, she noticed a man cleaning windshields. He wore faded jeans, a slightly torn hoodie, and old sneakers. His movements were slow but deliberate, as though each motion was calculated, not careless. Nkechi glanced at him once and immediately looked away. Another struggling immigrant, she thought. Probably came here with nothing and still has nothing. The man nodded politely as she approached the store entrance. "Good afternoon," he said. She barely acknowledged him. A faint smirk crossed her face. "Good afternoon," she replied, almost dismissive. Inside the store, she overheard two Nigerian men talking loudly near the drink section. "That guy outside, I think he just survives on tips," one said. Nkechi laughed softly. "People like that are everywhere," she added without being asked. "No ambition, just existing." When she came back out, the man was still there, wiping another car. This time, he looked at her directly, not staring aggressively, just observing. Something about it unsettled her, though she couldn't explain why. As she reached her car, she noticed her friend Amaka pulling in beside her. Amaka was outgoing, expressive, and less judgmental. "Oh wow," Amaka said, stepping out. "That guy has been working since I got here." Nkechi rolled her eyes. "Working? That's what you call it? Anybody can wipe glass. That's not work." Amaka frowned slightly. "Still, he's doing something. You never know people's stories." Nkechi laughed, sharper this time. "Stories? Please. In America, your story is your results." She raised her voice slightly, intentionally, as the man passed by. "You people should stop romanticizing poverty," she said loudly. "If you don't have anything going on for you, just say it. No need to act busy." A few nearby customers turned. The man stopped walking. For a moment, the air changed. He turned slowly towards her. "Are you talking to me?" he asked calmly. Nkechi folded her arms. "If the shoe fits." Amaka tugged her sleeve. "Nkechi, that's unnecessary." But Nkechi was already committed. "I just hate when people think America is a place for excuses," she said. "Everyone wants sympathy. Nobody wants discipline." She looked directly at the man. "You look like someone who gave up a long time ago." Silence. The man nodded slightly, almost as if processing something beyond her words. Then he said quietly, "Interesting conclusion," and returned to work. "Exactly my point," she said to Amaka. "No backbone." She got into her car, feeling satisfied, mistaking humiliation for intelligence. 2 days later, Amaka called her. "You need to come with me to this networking event downtown," she said. "Nigerians in tech, finance, entrepreneurship, big people will be there." Nkechi hesitated. "I don't do random events." "You do when it's hosted by the Nigerian Professionals Association," Amaka replied. "This is not small." Reluctantly, Nkechi agreed. The venue was a high-rise in downtown Houston, glass walls overlooking the city skyline. Inside, men and women in tailored suits moved between conversations like chess pieces in motion. Nkechi adjusted her dress, scanning the room. "This is more like it," she whispered. "Real people." Then she saw him, the man from the gas station. But he was different, not in appearance, but in context. He stood at the front of the room speaking with a group of executives. People were listening attentively. One of them laughed at something he said, nodding with respect. Nkechi froze. "Amaka," she whispered. "Is that not—" Amaka followed her gaze. "Yes," she said simply. Nkechi frowned. "Why is he here?" Amaka looked at her. "That's Dr. Daniel Okoye, AI systems architect. He runs consulting projects for Fortune 500 companies. He's one of the keynote speakers." Nkechi blinked. "That's impossible." Amaka raised an eyebrow. "Impossible because of what you saw at a gas station?" Nkechi didn't answer. Her stomach tightened. Later that evening, Dr. Okoye stepped onto the stage. No dramatic introduction, just presence. "I started in this country, cleaning windshields," he said calmly. "Not because I lacked ability, but because I lacked opportunity access at the time." The room was silent. "I was overlooked many times," he continued. "Sometimes because of my accent, sometimes because of my clothes, sometimes because people assumed my value before asking a single question." His eyes moved across the audience. "And I learned something important. Most people don't see you. They see their assumptions about you." Nkechi shifted uncomfortably. His voice remained steady. "But assumptions are fragile. They collapse the moment truth walks into the room." A pause. "I am not here because people judged me correctly," he said. "I am here because I refuse to become what their judgment tried to define." Applause followed, but Nkechi did not clap immediately. She was still stuck at one memory, the gas station. Her voice, his silence. After the event, people gathered around him. Nkechi stood at a distance, unsure whether to approach. Amaka nudged her. "You should go say hello." I don't think that's necessary," Nkechi replied. But Amaka was already pushing her forward. Dr. Okoye turned as she approached. Their eyes met. Recognition. Not dramatic, but precise. "You," he said. Nkechi forced a smile. "I don't know." He raised a hand gently. "You didn't know my profession. That's fine." A pause. "But you knew my worth." Silence expanded between them. Nkechi swallowed. "I was wrong," she said quickly. "I made assumptions. I shouldn't have said what I said." He studied her, not harshly, but analytically. "Why did you say it?" She hesitated. "Because I thought I understood what I was seeing." He nodded. "That's the problem," he said. "You weren't seeing me. You were seeing your interpretation." He leaned slightly closer, not threatening, just present. "Let me tell you something." he said. Humiliation is rarely about the target. It is usually about the person who feels powerful enough to give it. Nkechi looked down. That landed deeper than she expected. I didn't intend, she started. He interrupted gently. I know. A pause. But intention doesn't erase impact. It only explains it. Silence again. Then he added, the question is not whether you were wrong. The question is whether you will remain the same person who was confident in being wrong. That line stayed in the air long after he walked away. Weeks passed. Nkechi changed. Not suddenly, but structurally. She stopped speaking quickly about people she didn't know. She stopped treating first impressions like final verdicts. And more importantly, she stopped confusing confidence with correctness. At another Nigerian gathering, she saw a newcomer, poorly dressed, nervous, quiet. Someone whispered, he looks like he's struggling. Nkechi paused. Then she said, maybe or maybe we just don't have enough information yet. And for the first time, she meant it. In the Nigerian community in Houston, the story of Dr. Okoye became something people reacted, not as a table of success, but as a reminder, because sometimes the greatest distance between two people is not wealth or status, it is assumption. And sometimes the most expensive mistake is believing you understand a person before you have even asked their name. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. AfriTales247 would love to hear from you again. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out on our interesting stories. Bye.